So first of all, we're going to look at a certain book, okay? And this is a special book. Okay, and you'll find out why in a minute. Now, before we get started, raise your hand. Who is the person that draws the pictures? What is that person's name?
Illustrator.
Illustrator. Okay, who's the person that writes the words?
Author.
Author, you're right. Now, do you think it's important that the illustrator read what the author has written before they start drawing?
Yes.
Yeah, why?
So they can get the picture.
Right, so they can get the right picture.
Translate, like if the author said like they made a ball and the illustration can show them making a ball.
Because if it doesn't follow the story, if the pictures are like, if the book is about an elephant and all the pictures in the book are pictures of cats, is that going to make a lot of sense?
No.
No.
Unless they have two characters.
But the main character, okay? So right now, what I want us to do, Tim, Jalen, I want y'all to put your pencils down, and I want you to put your pencils down, and I just want you to pay attention to the book, okay? So real quick, just follow with your eyes. Illustrator had a story to go by? Do you think there were already words, even if the words were just in his head, do you think there were already some words that led him to draw the pictures as he did? Do you think that it would have made a lot of sense if every page the color of the crayon changed?
No.
Why not?
Because it doesn't really basic, because what the glass on one page was sweet and then on the next page it was like That doesn't really make sense.
No, it doesn't. You know what the word for that is? Is it's consistent.
Oh, yeah, consistent.
Consistent.
Over and over and over.
Over and over and over again. So consistency. And that's what we're working on today, okay? Because everybody has great ideas. And it's really important to develop your characters and to give them personality, okay? But what's even more important is making sure that personality and those characteristics and all those things that make that character who that person is, follow them throughout the whole book. Because at the beginning of the book, the little girl had blonde hair, and all of a sudden at the middle of the book she had red hair, and at the end of the book she had brown hair. Is that consistent?
No.
You wouldn't even know who this person was, okay? So what's important to remember is that you always have something to guide you, something that keeps that person, even scenery, okay? If your book is taking place in a library, and then all of a sudden you're switching to a grocery store, but the story is still in the library, is that going to make sense? No. You need to have, what was that word again?
Consistency.
Consistency.
Consistency is like the main goal.
An imagination. You have to have a little bit of imagination in it, right? So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a big piece of paper, and we're going to fold it. We're folding it 3 times, okay? Have you ever heard of the hamburger hot dog style?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hamburger whenever you do it the big one, hot dog.
So what we're going to do is we're going to fold it. So everybody's going to get a piece of paper. You're going to fold it hamburger style, okay? Maybe that's more of like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich
Or
shape.
taco burrito.
So you're going to fold it in half. You're going to fold it in half again.
I got my already got one. I already got one. Oh.
Yes.
Can I have some help? I folded mine in
Fold it in half. You can do that.
I just said it's like this book.
Huh?
It's weird. Like it says it takes a place like it's about Ben at his home.
So
And then
keep
in the
folding it,
picture
fold
it's
it.
about a girl and it's weird.
It's not good. Do we
So,
keep on folding it?
yes, fold it in half. So you've got folded it in half.
These are my
Fold it in
people.
half again.
How many times? What?
You're going to fold it.
doing.
Hold on. Shh. Listen. Fold it in half. You did it perfect. Fold it in half again. Either way. Perfect.
This is
Daniel,
my character
perfect.
that I made.
Now fold it in half one more time. Okay?
Fold it in half 4 times?
Just like that. Now stop when you get it to this size.
8.
Well, it makes 8 on one side and 8 on the other side. So how many is that?
18.
16.
Oh, I mean, 11.
So now, when you open it up, like she said, there's 8 spots.
There it is.
Okay? Yeah, because look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have
I
8
got
little
it.
rectangles. On the back side, you have 8 more. What I want you to do is I want you to think about your characters, your place that it's taking, you know, the setting. I even want you to think about your cover, okay? Because sometimes illustrations are on the cover as well. Do you see this? Because illustrations draw people in, okay? Because that's what draws a person's attention. So you want to have a really spectacular cover so that you can bring that attention to you.
What if they go to different places?
Then you need to draw all the different places.
That's too hard.
No, it's not.
Because, like, my people are going to be, like, in several places.
Okay, so what you're going to do is get started, and we'll walk around and help you, okay? But think of different ways. You know, we had a bunch of different ideas last time.
You put one of these squares?
Yeah, because this way, if you draw your main character in the first one, okay, that's your main character right there. This way, when you go to do your illustrations, you can refer back to this and say, okay, she is wearing a purple shirt and a pink polka dotted skirt, so that you have that consistency. If you need to have markers or colored pencils, they're up there. Hold on, Tim. And so You can get started coloring because colors are important. Think of your cover page. Think of how you're going to do your, the cover of your book. Think about if you're going to have a title page inside. How are you going to end it? Okay, so think about all the different things and start putting those ideas down on paper. Because just like when you did your ideas workshop and you brainstormed all those different ideas about what to do, you're doing the same thing here. You're just brainstorming in pictures. It's the same concept. You're just getting all that stuff out of your head and onto a piece of paper. So you can make all the final adjustments here rather than in your good book. Okay? Now remember, when you go into your good book, we've learned this in art. How do you draw? Do you take a pencil and you go?
No, you have to take
Short, light strokes. Why?
Like this?
Jalen, why?
So, because if it's dark strokes, it won't really come out nice.
You're right.
Light strokes, you'll need dark strokes, it won't really look as neat. Because when you wipe it, it'll turn all like...
Well, there is that. The granite. You'll smear the granite, the pencil lead, I mean. Yes.
And
Graphite.
also, if you draw hard like this, and you're trying to erase it, you'll see your mark.
Right, and do we want to see our pencil marks in our final product?
No.
No. So you want to use short, light strokes so that if you erase them, you don't see your marks. And also, especially in our good books, you don't want to press too hard because it will indent your paper, okay? And then when you turn the page over, you're going to have ripples. You'll have the little lines showing through, okay? And it can affect the pictures on that side. So all this is really important things to think about, okay? Also, your media, what you're going to use, okay? You need to start thinking about, are you going to use crayon? Are you going to use colored pencil? I would stick with something like that because you don't want it to bleed through onto the other side of your paper, okay? Sometimes markers do that, don't they?
They always do.
They always do that. And you really don't want to have your beautiful picture on one side and on the other side you have these little spots of color all over the place, right?
Unless you were doing it very lightly with the skinny ones and you did the details only and you didn't press them like...
Yeah, you have to be really careful because sometimes if you stay in a spot too long, it'll just, so we want to be really careful, okay?
Instead, sometimes I just get so close and then I don't even touch it, but it starts to wild. I'm like, huh? I'm not even touching it.
So start thinking of all those different things, okay? And let's go ahead and start on our ideas. And if you need some help, I will come around and help you, okay? But let's start getting some of those ideas down on paper, including your cover page.